I'm calling to order the Tuesday, May 30th Select Board meeting. This open meeting of the Town of Auburn
now be recorded.
Select Board is being conducted both in person and remotely, consistent with Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022, which suspends the requirements of the open meeting laws to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all meetings of public bodies are allowed to participate remotely as long as a reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For the public to join the meeting remotely by telephone, dial 1-408-650-3123 and access code 235-235-861. Or the public can join by a computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/235-235-861. All supporting materials that have been provided to the members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. We're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. This board will be leaving Town Hall to conduct a site visit at Perry Place. We are resuming the Tuesday, May 30th open meeting of the Board of Selectmen. As a reminder, this meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. Is there anybody else recording? Can I have your name and address?
Joe Schmo.
Your real name and address?
18 Fall Street, Auburn.
Okay.
Madam Chair, if I may, I'd like to make a motion to take issue number 5, presentation of proclamation to Town Clerk Deb Grimo, out of order.
Everyone in favor?
Aye.
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 Great. We are moving up the presentation of the proclamation for Town Clerk Deborah Grimo.
She is here.
Deb, would you like to come up?
We have two
Okay.
proclamations, one from the board and one from.
Okay. What do you want? Do you want first? If you'd like to come up here, that would be great. I also understand that Senator Moore is here. Would a proclamation, if you would like to come up as well? Wherever.
It's gonna be the first and last time.
So I'm going to read the Select Board proclamation. The Auburn Select Board wishes to recognize Deborah Grimo for her 8 years of dedicated service as town clerk and the professionalism and respect she displayed while serving our town residents. Ms. Grimo has worked in the town of Auburn for 11 years, working as the assistant town clerk since 2012, and then elected to the position of town clerk in 2015. The Select Board is also grateful for her service as registrar for the town, who conducted town elections with integrity and accuracy in the keeping of town officials. Ms. Grimo's leadership and ingenuity at Auburn's annual and special town meetings has resulted in a streamlined and efficient process. She has earned the respect of her peers by her distinguished leadership in the Massachusetts Municipal Clerks Association and her continued professional contributions not only to the town of Auburn, but to also the many communities in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that have benefited from her participation in association matters. We, the Select Board, on behalf of all of the town employees and the citizens of Auburn, do hereby wish Ms. Grimo a healthy and prosperous career and express our sincere appreciation to Ms. Grimo for her loyal and distinguished service as town clerk, making Auburn a more desirable place to reside, work, and visit. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you.
Okay.
My turn. Well, thank you for allowing me to be here tonight for this presentation. And thank you, Deb, for all your hard work. I think most people well, I shouldn't say most, I think everyone on this Board of Selectmen and the town administrators know the hard work and the amount of work that goes into operating or running a municipality. And a good portion of that work is done by the town manager, but also by the town clerk. There's so many responsibilities that fall within her responsibility that to have a town efficiently run and is well run, and it has been in the town of Auburn, I think shows the qualifications and the great work that Deb has done over the 12 years as your town clerk. And I think more so, whether it's right or wrong, over her tenure, the town clerk, with the responsibilities of running an election, has come under so much focus over the last several years. And to do it with no questions asked, no issues questioning the validity of elections, that shows, again, the quality of the work that you've had in your town clerk. And I'm very happy to be able to give her a citation tonight in recognition of the great work she has done for the citizens of the town of Auburn. So I have a citation from the State Senate. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Deborah A. Grimo, Town Clerk, your retirement from the town of Auburn, with appreciation of your 12 years of dedicated service to the citizens of the Commonwealth. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the clerk. And it's signed by our Senate President, Karen Spilka, and myself. And again, Deb, congratulations with your new position. And it's a happy day, but a sad day to be losing you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Board of Selectmen. I just want to say thank you. And I'm leaving with mixed emotions. I don't want to say that. I'm having a tough time with it. You know, it's good and it's bad, and I'm comfortable here, and I've been here, and I do love Auburn. But a lot has happened for me. So I think maybe the change, and I'm looking at it as a positive thing, but I am truly gonna miss Auburn, and I'm honored by all that you have done, and we've all done it together. And as Julie always said, and now Ed, you know, it takes many to get the success. And as long as you've got good people working for you and working with, it makes your job easier. So I thank you all.
Thank you.
Ed, Madam Chair? Madam Chair?
Yes.
Should we, pictures?
Sure. Do you want to do pictures?
That would be nice.
Yes, absolutely.
Who, all of it? Oh. Pictures of the proclamation.
I guess we're moving.
Oh, we are? Oh. Stand behind you? Oh.
Listen, I have abandoned the pictures.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you.
Release. Okay.
Yeah.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
May I make a motion to move up item number 6, appointment of interim town clerk until May 2024 annual town elections?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The chair is a yes. So Ed, would you like to?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'd like to read a memo that I included in your packet that identifies my recommendation. It reads as follows. Madam Chair and members of the Select Board, under Section 2.04 of the Town Charter, a vacancy in other elective town office from whatever cause arising shall be filled in a manner prescribed by law. Under MGL Chapter 41, Section 19E, a temporary clerk may be appointed as provided by under Chapter 41, Section 14, to serve until the election of a permanent town clerk at the next regular annual election. That would be May of 2024. Pursuant to 3.01 of the Auburn Town Charter, the Selectmen only hold the authority to appoint the town manager, the town accountant, and town council. The charter provides that the Selectmen have the authority to confirm the appointment of any person appointed by the town manager to head any department of a municipal government not otherwise provided for by the town charter. Under the town charter, section 3.06, the town manager is the appointing authority for all non-elected officials. As the charter does not specifically designate the authority to appoint a temporary town clerk, such authority would vest the town manager as the town's appointing authority, subject to the confirmation by the Board of Selectmen. And that became known to us as a review by town council. This is his opinion. Therefore, tonight I am recommending to the Board of Selectmen the appointment of Ginger Buteau as temporary town clerk until the election of a permanent town clerk at the next regular annual election, May 21st, 2024. Ginger Buteau has served as the assistant town clerk since last March of 2022 and has become familiar with the day-to-day operations of the department, and has also been involved in 2 local elections, 1 midterm state and federal election, early voting, vote by mail, and participated in several town meetings. She also worked as a land use clerk in the Department of Inspectional Services for a period of 2 years prior to her appointment as assistant town clerk. Prior to her employment with the town of Auburn, she held the position of assistant town clerk and interim town clerk in the town of Holland. Ginger's qualification and experience, including ongoing and continued education and training for her certification, makes her a great fit for this important temporary position and is a member of our leadership team. Thus, I respectfully request your confirmation of the appointment of Ginger Buteau as temporary town clerk.
Do we have a,
I make a motion to confirm our town manager's selection of Ginger Buteau as town clerk.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The chair is a yes as well. So congratulations, Ginger. Okay, so we are moving back to public comment. As a reminder for public comment, you have, oh, do we swear her in?
There'll be a swearing in, because it's not as an agenda item, there'll be a swearing in by the town clerk. She'll swear in Ginger following this meeting.
Great. So we are moving back to public comment. As a reminder, you have a 3-minute time limit. The developer is not here, but we are happy to take any questions that you might have to the developer. So Mr. Largess?
Any largest precinct 4 town meeting member also. First of all, Madam Chair, Board, Town Manager, Assistant Manager, I want to apologize for my feelings that got away last week. I hope you understand this means a lot to the neighborhood. And I bit my tongue numerous times tonight, and I thank you very much for allowing some of us to ask a couple questions or point a couple things out. And sincerely apologize.
Thank you.
Now, can we stop my 3 minutes? So, as walking, you noticed there's children walking up and down the roads, parents walking with their kids. The sidewalks, if he's going to do something, the sidewalks are a must for the safety. There was obviously cars parked on the side of the road tonight. Another thing that the gentleman talked about, and I'm going to go by east, west, north, south. The west side, it's Rockland Road side, that river, and this is for the new chair members, because I'm sure some of the other new board members, some of you has already heard it. That river backs up from 290 all the way to Stoneville, which then, and I have probably 50 pictures on my phone, I've already showed DPW director, which in turns floods the condominiums. It comes over Rockland Road. It comes down the backs of all the houses on Pearl Street, all the odd numbers. Let me clear that up. It floods across Perry Place from the condos parking lot across Perry Place. It goes around the back of number 4 and then comes back across Perry Place where number 29 is, Mr. Downer. So putting a larger culvert in is not going to solve the problem. Raising the road is only going to dam it up and cause more problems. And I know we're not here to beat the dead horse, but my concern is the public safety. 2,000 cars extra a day going down that road is ridiculous. I mean, you saw what it looks like. It's a residential road. At points, it's 16 feet. At points, it's 22 feet. I'm worried about the public safety. Yes, I am in a butter, and yes, I do not want to look out my living room window and see a 55-foot building staring me 10 feet off my property line. But that's the major things. There's stormwater. You know, again, I have at least 100 pictures. It's been overflowed. So from Rockland Road all the way to my property on a good rainstorm, that completely is one complete body of water. There's refrigerators that have floated down, trash cans that have floated down. There was a freezer that floated down. That is a lot of water. Mr. Mills is not here. He owns the property over there. He could contest to that. It's one giant body of water. So if you raise the road where that gentleman said 1 point something feet at that manhole, that's going to dam everything completely up, number 4, all the way down the odd numbers of Pearl Street. So I just want you to take this into consideration before you sign this LIP and say you're 100% for this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, my apologies.
Thank you. Next, we have Edward, and I'm not sure of your last name. I'm sorry.
I've been in town over 60 years. I'm a Buttman, 27 Colonial Road. I have the most beautiful piece of property in back that you wouldn't believe. Now these people are going to come in and I'm going to be looking at a building. In the wintertime, I see more wildlife, a lot of owls, deer and everything. All their habitat's going to be gone. All this guy wants to do is build a building, go. He got his money, he's going to run. That's how I look at it. I love the town. If this is going to happen, I think I just move. It's a shame I don't want to. I love it. And I'm looking at, in the wintertime, I can see this property. We get beautiful, you can tell them, beautiful piece of work. They're going to take down all the trees. I'm just worrying about the wildlife too. Where they're going to go? What he just said is the truth about the water and everything. I can see that. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dean? can I get your name as well? I'm sorry.
Amy Miller. We live
What's your last
together.
name? Oh, okay, perfect.
My question is, we live on 11 Pearl Street, which is like right at the corner where everyone was standing today. And we moved there because of the neighborhood and the cute little house that we have spent tens of thousands of dollars redoing within the past year. And now all this is happening. And my question is, have they thought of doing this project on a smaller scale? Because we all feel it's inevitably going to happen. But is there like any way, like a smaller scale, like you all walk that area or whoever did, it's a teeny tiny area. And to put all these people, my house is going to become a major intersection. And that's not what I spent all this money for. Like, it's just not what I spent all this money for. So I just didn't know if that's in consideration. I mean, I'd rather it not happen at all. But if it's going to happen, is a smaller scale project anything that they've been thinking of?
We can certainly ask. Yes.
Hi. So one of my major concerns is, and I've been coming to this meeting for a year and a half now, is a traffic survey. And I've taken pictures. If you stood on the corner by my house, if you look up Pearl Street and down every place, cars are parked in the street, and it's not by design. There's no one else to park, and those are the people that live here. What happens when they have people over? And I've taken videos of cars coming up or parked on Pearl Street, the school bus can't get by. They literally have to beep their horn for someone to come out and move their cars over it. Now, if you guys put sidewalks in there, they can't park on halfway on the grass and halfway in the street. They have to be all the way in the street. Again, it goes to safety. It really does. I love her. I've been here 6 years now, 7. She's been here probably about 15. It's a great town. The size of this project doesn't fit the size of a little residential neighborhood. I think it's way too big. But the traffic study, for the amount of cars, where are they going to go? And another thing, when we leave our neighborhood to go to work or to go to the store, we have to make a, if you come out of either Perry Place or Rockland, you've got to go onto, was that Auburn Street? It's hard to make that left, right? There's a blind spot, it's a hill. Now you're going to have, how many cars? Dan, you said 2,000? So it's insane. It's just not the right location for this size of a project. I really wish you would reconsider that. I don't want to see it happen at all, but if it does, and God forbid, there's a fire or a medical emergency and people can't get out, not to mention the congestion, it's really not fair to everybody, and God forbid somebody or a condo goes on fire and so people lose their lives. But it's not like, I'm not fear-mongering, I just want you guys to see and think about how this could go wrong. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Kevin? Kevin, can I get your house number?
I'm sorry?
Your house number is missing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kevin Sherman, I live in Auburn, across the street. And I just wanted to tell you how really worried we are for our neighborhood. There's a lot of laws on the books and bylaws that are supposed to be adhered to protect us, and I think that's one of the main things that this board has got to do is to protect people in Auburn. And I was really happy to see that you were actually made it to the street tonight, and you can actually get a visual instead of someone saying it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. But I'm really leery of this whole thing, and I wonder who is it that benefits from this? I know that it's not supposed to be the benefit for one person, and I have followed the company a little bit and what's been happening into other towns doing the same thing. And I have seen incidents of a different town where he suggested, oh, you don't have the water? Worcester's gonna give it to us. Does it sound familiar? Because that's what he told you. Oh, Worcester's gonna give us the water for Auburn. Shrewsbury is saying, oh, Worcester's gonna give us the water for that particular area. When does that become a problem? When Worcester says, hey, you're taking our water supplies from all these different places because you're adding your own private little neighborhood inside another neighborhood. So I'm really worried about the neighborhood, plus other rules that have been made for the scope of the project, and this is a very large scope. This is not a small one. This is 3 large buildings, a huge parking lot. Probably not very attractive either. And I didn't like it when I was at the town hall the other night when all these questions went unanswered, and it was okay. And a board member was asked, then you're going to have to take more land away from the people. And they said, oh, okay, like very glibly and insultingly. That's our land. We don't know if you've already made your minds up to give this guy the go-ahead or this company the go-ahead. But we're frightened. Nobody wants to live in that kind of a neighborhood. The regulations for Auburn to include 40B into all the housing, they're supposed to try, not supposed to get rid of all of it in one little neighborhood. You know, it's a dirt road, a lot of it, and you're going to have basically a couple of Walmarts at the end of it with the huge, you know, just think of Walmart and all the area that it takes up for the parking and everything and all the lights. And another thing is they are not going to pay for all the extra fire, ambulances, police details and things like that. That's a cost that we get to incur because this other person wants to make money. And I agree with this other person. It sure seems like they're just going to drop and run. I've seen this company do this to other towns where they tried to deflect to the town and to the railroad that they're going to pay for the upgrades because I'm going to put a house here. And they fought it and they fought it. They said, well, we'll give you 0.002% of our earnings for that project, which is like $20,000. It's supposed to cost $400,000 to protect that intersection, to protect the people of that neighborhood. And they said, no, we're going to make the railroad pay. But this just seems to be something that this company is always doing. You're going to take care of the water. You're going to take care of this. I'm going to drop the buildings and I'm gone. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can look it up. I got all this stuff online. So it's really frightening to see this pattern. It's not changing. And one thing I really worry about is people making decisions who are not going to pay for the repercussions of those decisions. I don't know anybody who lives on that street besides the people on this side, but we're going to pay. It's going to be the noise, it's going to be pollution, it's going to be a danger to the children. They're going to have to restructure the entire neighborhood for this is going to be a one-way now, so you can't leave your house going this way. It's a really small area of Auburn, and people are afraid of losing their town. That's why it's a town of Auburn, not the city of Auburn. And to drop a city inside a small neighborhood in Auburn, I think is the wrong move to do. It's a scope that's just way too big for this. If Auburn can show that they just are continuing to try to move 40B along to help people who actually need the help, that's great. But you really got to think in the future, think about the future, how it's going to really cost the city, the people who live there, and frankly, like the school systems, they don't have any more room. So those are considerations that we don't see any answers to. We have a lot of questions, and I talked to a lot of people in the neighborhood, and we're all under pretty much an agreement that we feel forgotten, and we feel like no one's listening to us, and it's just going to get overridden. And got 90% of these people looking to move. You know, the people aren't stupid. They know what's going to go on in that neighborhood. They just want to protect their livelihood. This is the American dream for all these people, including myself. To have it changed like that for the benefit, basically, of one person at the cost of everybody else's isn't something I want to be part of. So, thanks very much.
Thank you for your comments. I would like to make a point that we are taking everybody's comments into consideration before we make any decisions. And we will, I don't know if the board wants to move forward with any actions today, or if we would like to sit on the information we got to think about it a little bit more. I will leave that up to board members. If nobody wants to make a decision today, we can adjourn this meeting.
So
what's the status in terms of, I know previous, I'm gonna say previous board, because some members came on, some members came off, of negotiations with the developer, were those put on hold until the election and new members were sworn in?
I believe we met as late as Monday before the election, which was a Tuesday. So that was our last day of negotiations. I think we came back to the board and indicated what the desires were of the, that was conveyed to us by the board. And we had some discussions with the developer, which really led to the site visit because there's a cost associated with some of the items that the board had presented. That may not be feasible to be absorbed by the developers. So I would suggest that as a result of the site visit, we have a follow-up. The chair and I have a follow-up with the developer to see if there's an appetite to address what the board had originally requested.
What kind of time frame are we looking at? Do we have to have anything done by a certain date?
I think the last time the developer was here, he indicated that he would like the board to make a decision sooner than later because every day that goes by, it has an economic impact on the developer.
I would say that I would like to consider someone other than the chair to do the negotiating. Because of the election, we have, well, we always had a member who has building experience. So it makes sense to me anyways, and whether the board goes along with it or not, but to ask another member to take that responsibility on.
Excuse me, could you pull the mic down? You folks are hard to hear back here. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, Doreen, I'm not leaning back, I am talking into the mic, so. So the key is, for me anyways, a lot of these items, even though they are not our jurisdiction, such as traffic, such as all these other items that the ZBA will take up. However, it makes sense to have someone who knows those items and can talk intelligently on them. So that would be, I would make a motion that we ask Mr. Corain to serve as the board's negotiator going forward.
I'd second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The chair is a yes as well.
And then I would make a motion that we carry this item over to the next meeting, subject to, you know, the availability of the developer and board members and town staff to continue the discussion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The chair is a yes as well.
Make a motion to adjourn if that's appropriate, Madam Chair.
Absolutely.
Second.
Will this be going to the July 5th, sorry, June 5th meeting? Or is it June 12th?
Second Monday,
So it'll be June 12th.
correct.
Thank you.
All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
The chair is a yes as well.